Good, not good evening. That's a stupid way to start a podcast. You can listen to at any point.
Good day.
Good day, good something to you, good people, the listeners of the Culture Trumpet podcast. We are back, like that rash that you have to take antibiotics for. We're back.
Back by unpopular demand.
That was the other one I thought of today. Like herpes, it's back. I don't know. You can't get rid of that, can you? Apparently.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's not get too personal.
I've built up angst in our couple of weeks off. You can
Oh,
tell.
wow.
It's been a stressful few weeks.
Oh, wow.
It's not been relaxing at all. So.
Oh. That didn't go to plan then, did it?
No, it didn't. Not at all. But there we are. Series 3, Episode 1. Welcome.
Welcome. So, I reckon we've been off for a few weeks. I think let's spend this episode, just having a bit of a recap.
Yeah, let's do that.
What news has there been? What have we seen? Things like that. So, where do you want to start?
Well, let's start on little screen, shall we?
Sure.
So let's go to the BBC. Let's talk about Inside Number 9.
Go on then.
Oh, okay. You wanted to? Okay. You weren't going to follow my lead on that. Okay, fair enough.
You start.
Well, has it finished yet? Yes, it has.
It has.
How is it going? How has it gone? I quite enjoyed this series. I wouldn't say it was as strong as previous entries.
No.
However, I was very happy to see them back, and the fact it's been commissioned for another 2 series makes me happy.
That's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah.
But I felt they shied away this time from the horror side of things, which is how I fell in love with it the first time. It was a bit more real, what I wanted to say, but it was still macabre. Don't get me wrong, but it was a bit more grounded.
Yeah. I mean, there was a sci-fi episode and a kind of folk horror, Wickermanish kind of thing. Which
was that the Mr. King episode?
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
But yeah, on the whole, they didn't have like a full-on horror episode, which they normally do. You're right. I think there were a couple of episodes where the execution didn't quite match the concept.
Well, again, like spoiler alert, I shall say. So the penultimate episode, Mark and I talked about off air, and you said with that one the concept didn't live up to the execution. Now, for me, I thought it did because I could relate to that episode in a certain specific way, but you didn't know which way it was going to go with one particular character. And they reveal it all very, very quickly at the end. But I guess the bit that you're referring to is where it sort of diverts and goes a little bit off the rails. It goes a little bit weird.
I don't know. It was just there were a couple like that where the idea of it was a really neat, clever idea, right? And normally they are so good that they live up to that concept. Now, don't get me wrong, right? Fantastic program, another great season, as always. Even Inside Number 9, when it's slightly off,
it's still a good episode.
It's better than most TV, right?
Yeah, valid.
And the fact that this was the 7th season, 6 episodes, so that's what 30-odd, 40 episodes they've done.
It still feels fresh enough to want to continue watching it, but also you always have you think about things afterwards. That's what I like about it.
The fact that they can come up with fresh stories still. I think there's only been one episode a couple of seasons ago that has referenced any of their previous work, and that was the one that tied into Psychoville.
Oh, right, okay.
It was about the couple who were living in the flat and weird stuff was happening.
Oh, I know the one.
And then David turned up from Psychoville, right? And even that was brilliantly done. That could have easily been a kind of fan service, reference to the Inside Number 9 League of Gentlemen Psychoville verse, right? But it was such a twist, and I was watching it and it was genuinely a surprise twist, and it was like, oh, that's fantastic, right? And they've only done that once, and that's great. If they never do it again, that's fine. They don't have to keep linking. And the fact that they can come up with all these episodes, standalone episodes, fresh ideas every single time, I just don't understand how they can do it,
No, do you know,
basically.
I did have to Google who David from Psychoville was because I didn't actually know that was a tie back. So
Okay.
thank you. I've learned something else, and I
But
get that's
even
very
then,
clever.
that worked as a standalone episode,
Of
right?
course
If
it
you'd
did.
never seen Psychoville, it
Oh
still
yeah,
worked
I'm the perfect
brilliantly.
candidate here.
But
Yeah.
if you have seen it, oh, brilliant, just fantastic. And then there was the live episode they did, the Halloween episode.
I didn't get round to watching that before the series
Oh,
aired, but it's on the never-ending list of things you make me watch.
just brilliant. And again, a callback to those kind of classic. Well, one, back to the day when a lot of television drama was live because they didn't have the recording facilities, right? But then also a kind of callback to things like Ghost Watch,
Sure.
another of those kind of found footage, fake documentary kind of things. Brilliant. Again, just a fresh way of doing it. Just perfect. Just perfect. So, yeah.
Looking forward to whatever they. I mean, I'm a big fan of Rhys Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton. I mean,
Yes.
I remember Steve Pemberton back from the Benidorm days. That's when I first
Oh,
remember
okay.
watching him.
Yeah.
But Rhys Shearsmith was in Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere. He has a very good scene singing "The First Cut Is the Deepest" about his vasectomy.
Okay.
And again, I remember knowing him from that, so I've become a big
Okay.
fan as I've grown older. And yeah,
I think after certainly after League of Gentlemen, they kind of popped up in different places. I remember Reece Shearsmith's in an episode of Spaced.
okay,
There's a Robot Wars episode of Spaced, which is really good. He plays the kind of opposition team leader
right,
in that, and it's fantastic. But yeah, great, another great series.
good,
And as you said, they've got two more, so brilliant.
excellent.
Can't wait. Um,
Sticking with small screen, I think we should tie
yeah,
this to
stick
a
with
thing.
small screen. So Reacher season 2 has been confirmed.
Cool.
Um, Amazon Prime or Prime Video, whatever they want to call it. Did you watch season 1?
No. There's a reason why, and I can't remember. I was finishing something else off, and I never got round
Right.
to it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I can't remember what that reason was.
That's fine. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I'm quite a fan of the films. I know they got a bit of a pasting, but I think they're okay.
I think they got
I,
pasting because it was Tom Cruise, and he's not the size of Jack Reacher.
it's
Whereas,
about a foot and a half shorter, yeah.
yeah,
But as films, if you kind of go into it not knowing what Jack Reacher
they're
should be
good
like
action
physically,
films.
the great thrillers, good action, good mystery, they're cool. But the TV show is fantastic, so I'm really glad that they
Okay.
are thing. I think one of the good things I've not read any of the books, so I've no kind of skin in the game in terms of how accurate the adaptations are or anything like that. But I think one of the things that is good about the books, from what I understand, is that they don't. One book doesn't kind of lead into the other. They're all very much standalone stories.
Okay.
So whereas season 1 adapted the first book, season 2 is adapting book 11.
Right.
So there's kind of not a lot of connected material between them, so they can kind of jump around and I guess pick ones which are more filmable, I guess, more achievable. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. I think it films later this year, so I guess we're not going to see it before next summer, I suppose.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
Um, Streaming wise, another new arrival is due in June, and that's Paramount Plus.
Okie dokie.
So they are the home of obviously all the Star Treks TV shows. Halo, I think, is one of theirs, the Halo TV show. And they're launching on June 22nd. Disappointingly, for those of us with big tellies and big sound, initially there's going to be no 4K HDR or Atmos audio.
That's disappointing in the day and age that we're living in.
It really is, isn't it?
And it's Paramount. They're not exactly a small fry in this game, but
No.
they've been in America. Has America got that?
Oh yeah.
Right, that's just cheap.
It is, and there's really no excuse. I mean, you look at Disney. I mean, they launched at an odd time because they obviously launched just as the pandemic was kicking off.
And it really got going after that, when I think about it.
And so they initially did have some kind of technical restrictions in terms of because everyone was using the internet and traffic was so high.
The pipes weren't big enough.
Exactly. So they did kind of put some restrictions in place around bit rates and
I remember going, hang about, this ain't great, but then it's fine now.
But as soon as that calmed down and they got up to capacity, they were full on Dolby Vision, 4K, Atmos, the lot. I don't think Paramount have that excuse. There isn't anything. I can't see why, on a technical level, they can't launch with all of that, given that they've been in America for what, a couple of years now.
Whatever. I think it's disappointing that we're going to get a half-assed launch with, like you say, no technical excuse this time, but also probably at the premium. So,
I'm sure it'll be full price.
Yeah.
And also, they're launching their Star Trek stuff. Is still going to be weekly. So, for example, Strange New Worlds, I think there'll be the double bill of the first 2 episodes initially, then the other episodes will be weekly. So the UK will get the first couple of episodes of Strange New Worlds, just as the States is finishing the season.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
So
that annoys me.
Piracy. That's going to kind of, they open themselves to that.
Yep.
They've got all the episodes. Why not make it as if you're going to launch? Here's the big new thing. We're dropping the whole season in one go for the UK. Welcome. Do you know what I mean?
Is it to keep like a good few, maybe 2-3 months of subscribers, so you don't just pay for the month and then sack it off?
That's a good point. And I suppose maybe they're seeing the Disney model, which does the weekly episodes, rather than Netflix, who tend to drop it all in one go if it's one of their own shows. So you could be right, actually. They're keeping, because they'll do a 2-week free trial, but if you've got to subscribe for 10 weeks to watch the whole season, or you go and torrent it for free.
We don't condone torrenting.
No, illegal. Absolutely not. But that's the kind of what they're leaving themselves open to.
Yeah.
By doing that. So it's a bit disappointing. I can't see myself subscribing to them for at least the first few months.
No.
At least until they've got the 4K HDR and the audio, which they are going to do, but they've just not said when.
No, that's a bit silly, but there we are.
So yeah, I think they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot there. On a technical level, I don't really see an excuse for it.
Go tell them, Mark.
I will. I'll speak to them.
If anybody from Paramount is listening, we would very much like complimentary access to your service to review it.
If you do it, absolutely, yeah, by all means.
We're still waiting for Sky Glass, Murdoch.
Another small screen. Come on, then.
Right. You're a fan of Taskmaster because you are a man of culture. We've established this over the last.
Bloody loves Taskmaster.
Taskmaster? Why are you doing it? I'm not from the Southwest. You know this.
I really love it.
Oh, I know who we're doing Bridget because she's from Gloucester.
That's it.
Right.
Taskmaster.
Read what you have written.
I have put Taskmaster continues. One of the best casts in a while.
Is it though?
Oh, it is. Yes.
Is it though?
That wasn't a question.
Is it though?
Yeah. Why? Chris Ramsey, I think.
No way!
No way! I think he's one of the perfect contestants because he's just so into it.
He's what? So he was at the time. He was the only person I'd heard of in the cast, right?
Right.
But I have thoughts on it. So Chris Ramsey, I think, is excellent.
Yep.
Ardal O'Hanlon,
Yeah,
Ardal
Arnold.
is one of the funniest people I have ever watched on
He is.
Taskmaster, because he takes it seriously, yet he can never quite think outside the box, and I love
Yes.
that about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moving down, Bridget is just incredibly
Mental.
innocent and mental.
She's brilliant.
Sophie Duker, I think, is very clever. She's young. She's bringing that I can think cleverer than you.
I think she's really good. I like Sophie.
And then Judy Love is playing the character of Judy Love, and she's just not letting that down. And I don't like that.
Oh, really?
Really don't like it.
I think she's fun. I think because Greg finds her funny, she's keeping that up.
Eh.
But I know. I think they're all great. I think they're all great. What can I tell you?
Chris Ramsey, you're right. The no way one. I mean, it's made it into our friendship circles. Every time says something we don't agree, we find dumbfounded. No way! And we were doing it on a night out a couple of weeks ago, and it got annoying, but it was funny.
It's brilliant. I mean, every series obviously has its highlights, but I think on this one, I think there's been, for me, more consistently laugh out loud moments.
I
through
respectfully
every
disagree
episode.
on that, but
Well, I you can respectfully shove your disagreement up your bum.
oh no, thank you.
But again, it's one of those things. It's like even a subpar Taskmaster
It's still funny and decent.
is still better than a lot
you're
of the
right,
stuff
you're
that's on
right.
TV. You know.
And I'm looking forward to the Champion of Champions 2, which I think is a summer air window, but they haven't confirmed it yet.
This is the fact-checking elf. Please stand by for a fact check. Fact check incoming.
Stand by for a seamless last-minute insertion.
In true Culture Trumpet style, as soon as we've recorded an episode, a actual fact comes out about the thing we're talking about. So Taskmaster Champion of Champions 2 is actually going to air at 9 PM on Thursday, June 23rd, and that's bringing together the winners from Series 6 to Series 10. So that's including Lisa Tarbuck, Kerry Godliman, Lou Sanders, Ed Gamble, and Richard Herring. Anyway, back to the nonsense. Bye!
That's the end of the seamless last-minute insertion.
But that was filmed like years ago now.
I think it was early this year. Yeah.
Oh no.
I think Taskmaster is just one of those. It's like a comfort blanket show, isn't it?
I look forward to Thursday evenings because of it. I really do.
You just want cheering up for an hour.
And then you go back to the mundane reality of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Anywho.
Okay. Big screen
boy.
news, I guess. Scream 6 has been confirmed.
It did get confirmed a while ago, but I think it was getting confirmed as we were wrapping up.
Yeah, it was just as we kind of finished before, so about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is great, and it's the same creative team back from the last film, Radio Silence, as they're known, this kind of filmmaking group, who did obviously the last film, which was great. They did Ready or Not, which is just one of the best horror films, and they're bringing back Hayden Panettiere from Scream 4, fan favorite character.
Big fan of Hayden Panettiere.
He's coming back. So yep, Hayden.
Go on, say it properly nowadays.
Hang on. Hayden Panini, she's back.
Mine was off the, just not even edited. That was real time.
Hayden Pepperami. Anyway,
no, boring.
But in shock news, the day before we're recording this, Neve Campbell put out a statement saying she wasn't returning, and you've got to respect her honesty. She's made it clear it was because they'd not offered her enough money.
You're right. She's been quite open about it's a money thing. Now we're going to talk about Jackass 4 and 4.5 in the second half of the show, but Mr. Steve-O had a similar beef with the producers of Jackass Forever, who is Johnny Knoxville and Jeff Tremaine, who's the director.
Right.
And, he was very much, I've been putting content out for the last 10 years, building up a fan base. I'm bringing quite a lot to this film. I'm bringing people in because of who I am, what I've built myself up for. So he had beef with his mates, essentially, but he stayed true to himself, and he got a better gig out of it, a better paycheck.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Well, clearly, Neve probably went hang about and maybe couldn't come to an arrangement, but considering she's the face of Scream, isn't she? She's Sydney, she's the first girl.
Yes,
I'm surprised, but also I think I hate to say this, they've got such a strong cast now. Without her, I don't know.
That's it. I mean, they have... You're right, she's the face of the franchise, right? I think she's been in every film, hasn't she?
I don't know.
I think so. But she's undoubtedly forever linked with it. And...
Well, Courtney Cox is going to come back, isn't she?
As far as I know.
Yeah, that's good enough. One of them's fine.
But I think...
You're right. You said Hayden Portaloo's coming back as well. So...
Over the years, you're right. Over the years, there have been enough additional cast members and characters introduced that, the ones that are left alive are more than enough.
That's the problem with slashers, isn't it? The franchise cast gets smaller and smaller.
But there's more than enough to kind of fill that gap, so and it was clear from the press release anyway that the story is going to focus on the survivors of the last film. So any appearance by the original cast is likely to be
Hayden
Panettiere.
See, can't use the same one. That's awful. I set you up for that and just useless.
You did. Pepperami.
You've said that, but that's okay. Moving on.
Anyway.
Rusty. We're just rusty.
We are. So, yeah. I would imagine that any appearance by her would have just been more of a cameo anyway, rather than a kind of major role, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate.
But I think we'll survive. Yeah. Fair play to her to stick in and go hang about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the series has made enough money. Obviously, they've never been big budget films; they're always low budget, and the studio obviously wants to keep them that way, right? But,
sure.
But fair play. That's business.
That's business.
Well, isn't it? So there's a new... I don't know if you've had a chance to see the new trailer for Prey.
No,
Predator
when did it come out?
Just today.
Would you like me to do a live react?
Yes,
we haven't done one of those.
I did send you a link.
When?
Earlier on. It's right there.
So you did at 6:20.
Yeah.
I was out, was I?
Oh, well.
Yeah, it was. There it goes. At 6:21. I'm free, but I'm just going to the gym, that's all. Right, okay.
Anyway.
I'll do a live react if you want.
Yeah, go on then.
Right, this will be 2 minutes and 17 seconds of fun.
Yep.
If I play this... I'm going to play the audio, so we might have to just cut bits out. But let's do this. Let's do this. 20th Century Studios, obviously it's Disney now, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Axe. Yeah.
Why do you want to hunt? Because you all think that I can't.
Okay.
I saw a sign in the sky. I'm ready.
When's it set?
A couple of 100 years ago.
Okay. Dog knows sign language, that's good. Being chased by a bear. I somehow think that's going to be the least of her problems in this film. Okay. Oh, the Predator's going to get the bear, isn't it? Yes, I was right. Ooh. Oh, they're very careful not to show the Predator at that point. Oh, from the director of Cloverfield Lane. 10 Cloverfield. I like that. That was a good film.
Great film.
Okay.
You can't.
I'm trying to protect you.
Or tribes. I am finding it interesting that it's going to be without guns and, traditional weapons the way we know. It's going to be very, very tense, isn't it?
I think so.
Oh, the laser. The bloody running through that grass then, that was cool.
It knows how
That was a
to
cool shot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I know how to survive.
Okay, so she trains herself. it's just that iconic clicking. It's amazing.
Whoever did this, I can kill it.
It better be graphic. Bray. I'm glad they're using the actual typography as well. Oh, so it's coming to Hulu. Oh, I want to see that in the cinema.
Well, that'll be Disney Plus.
Oh, that's
Over
okay
here.
then.
Yeah.
We'll probably
good, doesn't
cut a lot of that out, but it looks okay. It's going to be a different spin. But what I will say is we've had Predator films where the humans just absolutely sack it with, big guns and big weapons. All those people are absolutely fucked, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But no, a different spin on a franchise they keep trying to reboot. Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, I'll watch that. I liked 10 Cloverfield Lane.
I did too.
I think he's a good director, Dan Trachtenberg, so I think it can keep the kind of suspense.
It's gonna be tense. You just know there's gonna be scenes of them walking through the forest trying to keep quiet, like in Quiet Place, and it's just gonna come out of nowhere.
Yes, yeah. But no, I'm looking forward to that. It should be good.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't look at it 3 hours ago.
That's fine. Let's just ground this whole thing to a halt while you spent 2 minutes watching it, but that's okay.
I've caught up with the day, clearly.
Yes.
Cool.
So,
reviews time.
What have we been watching?
Well, we've had a bit of time off, and just before we took our sabbatical, I was getting quite excited about Obi Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And at time of recording, 3 episodes have aired.
Yep.
Aired, downloaded, whatever you want to think. However streaming works. Streamed, that's the right word.
Dropped is what the young people,
the young folk,
say these days, isn't it?
How up to date are you?
Oh yeah, I've watched the first 3.
Okay, so you're up to date on par.
Yeah.
So far, I'm loving it. I felt with Book of Bobalorian and The Mandalorian, it took me a good 3 or 4 to sort of get it and go, okay, I understand now. And I don't know if that's because they weren't characters that I particularly knew or liked, but Ewan McGregor is just, he is young Alec Guinness. He's awesome, and Obi-Wan Kenobi is got to be my favourite Star Wars character. I get slated by the fucking toxic fandom about that, but he's just so cool. And the first episode just drops you straight into where he is now 10 years after Order 66, which you see, and it's just as heartbreaking. But it's there. It's really good. I don't want to give too much away yet, because we could probably do a whole episode on spoiling it, but
maybe so. Maybe at the end of the season we can have a good old natter about it. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's really good. I'm glad that they dropped the first couple of episodes at the same time.
Well, they did that because they delayed it, didn't they?
Yes.
So it was we're gonna was it to coincide with Star Wars Celebration, maybe?
I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it.
Which is a great event. If you ever get a chance to go to one of those, go to one. I went to London 2016, I think it was. Excuse me. It was awesome.
Okay.
Oh, lasagna.
Hey. No, I'm glad they dropped the first couple so we could kind of get properly stuck in. I think that was great. I like some of the new characters.
That raises a good point.
I think is a great character.
Is that the third sister?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For those who want to listen about toxic fandom, and if you are one, and do you want to know if you are part of the toxic fandom and you want to realise why you're a prick, there is an episode that we've done about it, and it's just mind-boggling how. Well, the point of it is, I don't want to go into too much because this is what I mean. I've just built up this anger over the last couple of weeks. There's Ewan McGregor felt obliged, and not obliged, but he felt that he should come out and make a statement about it, and he made a point of, as an exec producer and as the leading part, he had to stand out and go, well, one, I stand with the actress because she's bloody good at what she does, but also, if you're making those kinds of comments, you are not part of the fandom.
Yeah. Well, even Disney put out, and I thought, to be fair, they just put out a tweet that bluntly said, "Don't choose to be racist," which
doesn't beat around the bush, that does it?
Sums it up really. But let's not dwell on those people.
She is a fantastic character. She's sinister. She's playing that part really well.
There's obviously some background there, either some kind of link
we're getting it slowly.
That is kind of that will explain why she's so hell bent on catching Obi Wan. No, great character, great performance as well. I liked Camille Nanjiani's character. This kind of again, not to get too spoilery, but this is set at a time where the Jedi have basically been wiped out. The last few that are around are either in hiding or being hunted, and etc. And so what you've got here is a character who's basically a con man pretending to be a Jedi to make money, right? You could argue, well, he is actually genuinely helping people, but obviously a real Jedi would do it for free, and he charges handsomely for it. But I liked his character. Hopefully I don't think his character died, did he? So hopefully...
I don't think so.
We'll see him again. I thought that was a nice world-building thing of, if the Jedi have been wiped out, you'll get... With any kind of thing, isn't it? You'll get these chancers who will come in and try and make a quick buck and, take advantage of people and all that.
Didn't he say he was playing a character that we'd seen before, a version of a character we'd seen before? I thought he was playing Jar Jar.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's gone a direction I didn't think it was going to. And there's certain scenes with a certain nemesis of Obi Wan Kenobi. There's a scene in the last third episode that is brutal, and it was very much, they've gone there, right? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And again, we'll come to it at a later date, but it's so far so good.
Definitely. Okay. Stranger Things.
Ooh,
Epic first half of season 4.
First 3 quarters.
Oh yes, yeah.
So there's 7 episodes released. There's 2 more to come in July, and I think they're both about 2 hours long.
Something like that. Yep.
Every episode in Series 4 Part 1 has been over an hour. And straight away it drops you right back into the action. It is full on, and it's full on horror as well this time.
Oh yeah, there's no messing around this time.
No, the baddie in this one is really bad. I was getting Exorcist vibes, Poltergeist vibes. You can tell and obviously Nightmare on Elm Street vibes, but I don't want to give too much away.
I was getting bits of Hellraiser.
Yeah, you would. You fucking love it. It was awesome. We watched it in the weekend it came out, and at first I was like, I'm not gonna watch this one. I'm gonna wait until it's all out and then I'll binge it. And then once I knew it was like an hour 20 an episode, I was like, nah, I've sod it. I'm getting it out of the way now. And I'm so glad I did.
Yeah, really good. Looking forward to the last couple of season 4, and then there's still a season 5 which is to come.
Now I forgot about that. My other half said there is a series 5 to come, don't forget, because I said how are they going to wrap it up in 2 episodes. I was like, really?
Well, this is the thing, right? You would think that the last 2 episodes being feature length, season 5 is either got to be massively epic beyond anything they've done so far, or it's going to feel like they're dragging it out. And it could be one of those final seasons that just outstays its welcome, if you know what I mean.
We don't know. So at the state of play, again, not to give anything away, we don't really know what's happening with Hopper.
No.
We don't really know what's going to happen with Will, and considering Will was the main character of Series 1, he's fallen far from where he was. You got the whole bit with just the Russians in general.
Yeah.
We've got this whole thing about why the Upside Down truly exists and what the hell is going to happen with it.
Yeah.
But also, obviously, you've got Eleven and her backstory, and also remember that little gang that she had in the last series that sort of went nowhere.
Yeah.
They're out there doing something.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
So I think they have a lot to fill the series with. It's just how do they wrap it up in a neat little bow for us?
Yeah, that's going to be a challenge because this season, so far it feels like a final season. Do you know what I mean?
Massively.
And the fact that they have got 2 feature-length episodes still to come is that's like season finale level stuff, isn't it?
But they have also had to cut it all short, so they are making exceptions for this series, don't forget. You know, they didn't think it was going to get cut short at 5, so I guess they're fitting in a lot more than they planned.
True. Okay.
But
Well,
highlights from the series: Steve and Dustin are awesome together, and they make me giggle every time they interact. And Eddie Munson was a fantastic character.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
I am. No, I'm enjoying it. Some of the stuff with 11 I found dragged a bit. Honestly,
she's so unneeded now. I hate to say that.
Yeah, and also I'm not keen on her as an actress.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think she's a bad actor.
Do you need to listen to our episode of Toxic Fandom? I'm joking.
No,
I'm joking.
Because I don't think she's a bad actor. And obviously in the early seasons, when she was a lot younger,
she was ahead of her time.
And it was a demanding role, and she was fantastic in those earlier seasons. But there's something about her I'm finding I just don't kind of care about her as a character.
I got to the point where I was going, could she make it through an episode without crying, please?
Well, yeah.
But I think Steve or Dustin make a point. Last time it was much easier because we had 11 doing her thing, and she's just not in it. So they even make the fun that she's doing her own soul searching.
Yeah. So let's see. Obviously, 2 episodes to go, another full season to go. Let's see. But I would say I know, and it's an odd one because while I found her storyline the weakest point of the season, at the same time, it's also clearly one of the most important.
Yeah, without giving it away, yeah.
But it's just been a bit. It took a while to get there.
Yeah,
is all I could say. But still enjoying it.
I didn't think I was going to care about it, and because of how long it's been since. Well, it feels like yonks years.
Yeah.
Since the last series, that's why I was like, I'll just wait for it all to come out and I'll watch it all. But after starting it, I'm glad I did because I do thoroughly enjoy it. But yes, there's elements where the worst of it is outweighed by how good it actually is.
Yes.
The special effects are phenomenal. The new baddie's just so good.
Yeah.
And Robert Englund happens to be in it at a point. It was
great.
great.
Yeah, that was great. And the guy playing the younger version of his character, I thought was good as well.
I thought it was a good likeness.
Yeah, he's from Ozark.
Oh, I still haven't watched that, so don't bother asking.
And he plays a really likable character in that.
Yeah.
So he's like, loving it so far.
Yeah, very good.
Now then, have you been to the cinema lately?
No, moving on.
Oh, okay.
Genuinely
well,
haven't.
I have.
I didn't ask.
I went twice last week.
Oh.
And I saw Top Gun Maverick.
Yes, I heard that's doing very, very well.
It's doing hugely well. Tom Cruise's most successful film ever.
Good for him.
Yeah, brilliant. He's always been one of these ones where he's always been dependable, but he's never had like a smash hit thing. Apparently, they predicted it could be his first $1 billion
Wow. I'm surprised he's never.
movie.
I say I'm surprised he's never hit it. Think of the films that Cruise has done over the years. Yeah, fair enough.
Dependable, right?
Oh yeah.
But this, I'm not a fan of the original, right? It was only the last year or so that I finally watched the original.
I've probably only seen it a handful of times, and for what
Mhm.
it was, I enjoyed it.
I was just like, yeah, okay, not my thing. I'm
Danger
a fan of
zone.
I'm a fan of, I'm a fan of Tony Scott, but more, I guess, he's more not recent's the wrong word because obviously he's been dead for a few years, but his
Oh, that
later
yeah.
work, I'm more a fan of his later work than his earlier stuff. But I've grown over the years to be a huge Tom Cruise fan. Make no secret of that. And I'm a big fan of Joe Kosinski, who is the director, and he also did Tron Legacy.
See, I was just googling who the director was.
So he did Tron Legacy, which is visually, if nothing else, a stunning film.
Yeah.
And he also did Oblivion, another Tom Cruise movie, a sci-fi film, which again is like that was not a huge hit, but it's a really cool film. But anyway, and Christopher Mcquarrie is also one of the producers. So again, he's the one who's been in charge of the last few Mission Impossible films.
Cool.
And he's worked with Tom Cruise on a few things in the past. So that's a great team there making this film. And do you know what? I fucking loved it. I really did. Really enjoyed it. I mean, it's been said before, countless times, but the ability for them now to put these IMAX quality cinema cameras inside the cockpit
It's insane.
with the actors.
Well, I
It's
saw
bonkers.
I saw a featurette, and I'm a bit pissed off, to be fair, that all these featurettes seem to come out on the release date. So you see a bit behind the scenes. So one returning character has been spoilt, but there we are. And all of the actors had to essentially go through some sort of flight school, because one, Tom isn't going to take any chances with his cast.
Yep.
And also they had to go almost essentially through not directing, but like camera operating, shot school. I don't know. I'm not in the film industry.
Yeah, no, you're right. They had to be taught how to use the cameras,
Get their shots, get their lighting.
how to set focus, lighting, and all that. Because I think in one of the features or one interview I saw with Joe Kosinski, he said basically they would rehearse on the ground, they'd go through it all on the ground, but as soon as those planes are in the air, he had no control.
Yeah.
And they would come back an hour later, and he just had to cross his fingers that they'd managed to catch.
That's a lot of trust in it.
Yeah, right.
But it's I'm a big fan of Miles Teller.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
think
he's
a great
good, yeah.
actor. Whiplash, phenomenal. Fantastic
Yeah.
Four, less so. But even there, he wasn't exactly shit.
He wasn't the problem.
It was
with
just a shit film. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I might be able to try and squeak it in on the weekend. However, Jurassic World Dominion's out at the end of this week, and I think I know what I'd prefer to see.
Yes, but it is very good. If you do get the chance,
I will try and see it in IMAX as well.
they do. People go on about films that need to be seen on the big screen. I think there are.
But most Tom Cruise films have to.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you're literally right there, and you can. There's obviously some CG for some of the stuff, right? But the shots of them in the cockpit with the G forces acting on them,
I bet that's so cool.
It is, and it's real.
Did
Whatever
you
else might be going on in the scene, you know at least that bit of the shot is genuine.
Did you see it on your IMAX equivalent in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, well, it was the IMAX that View have. So again, it's like I've said before, it's not the genuine 5-story high IMAX screens, but it's their like the biggest screen they can fit in the room kind of thing.
Okay, cool. Okay, because we have an IMAX locally, but
yeah,
there's another cinema nearby. It's a showcase that does
X Plus,
whatever. Yeah,
it's their version. So View do IMAX or the IMAX brand.
Odeon do IMAX near us.
Oh, do they as well? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, the audio near me has one called iSense,
Okay.
but again, it's the same idea, right?
Yeah.
Same
But,
idea. It really is. It's brilliant. I'm surprised how much I enjoyed it. Yeah,
okay, so let's move on to what else did you go see? You said you went twice.
I did. I went to see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Ah, my colleague watched that on a plane.
What a what?
He didn't choose
Now
to go. He didn't buy a plane ticket to just go see that fucking film, did he? Now
that's quite
think about it,
extreme.
Mark.
Quite extreme. Um, do you know we were talking about? Obviously, our last episode was a full on multiverse of madness movie, and you know how we were saying we wished that they'd made more out of the possibilities of the different multiverses.
Yes.
This film does that.
Really?
Oh my god,
I know
yes.
nothing about it, and I don't want to. I kind of want to go into it knowing nothing.
I knew very little. I'd watched one trailer, and
Okay.
that was it. I just thought, do you know what? This looks cool.
I've not even done that.
But it's a multiverse film, kung fu, action, sci-fi, comedy. And if you thought that Doctor Strange shortchanged you on the number of universes that it went to and the number of variants that it gave you, this will more than satisfy you. It is. I mean, the action's brilliant in it. The kung fu stuff, the martial arts fight scenes are fantastic. The the kind of sci-fi element, the multiverse stuff is fun and clever. Michelle Yeoh, I think it's the best thing she's ever done, and it's great to see her finally get this kind of proper lead role.
Okay. It's oh, of course James Hong is in it.
Yes,
It's in Chinese, isn't it? So it's subtitled.
it's about half and half.
Oh, cool.
So it's an American film,
Oh, I didn't know that.
but that's one of the good things, right?
Oh, it's by
They are
A24. Wow, you know it's going to be all right.
right, exactly. But it's an American film, but obviously it's Chinese characters, so they jump in and out of speaking Chinese as they would
Fair
living
cop.
in America, right?
Yeah.
I think the highlight is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, don't ruin it. I didn't know she was in it, man.
She plays a tax inspector,
Called Deirdre.
but that is not even the half of it. That's all I'm going to say.
We better get a universe where she is playing her badass Laurie Strode. But again, I haven't seen this thing.
I mean,
shut up! Don't stop talking.
just
stop,
go see it.
Stop talking.
In fact, I would say go and see that instead of Top Gun if you have to choose.
Oh, I'm going to see Jurassic World. So, you know.
Now then, we'll move on because I don't want to spoil. I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah. You seem really close on to the edge of ruining something for me now.
I can see on your notes here. You've put The Boys season 3 now. Confession time.
Never watched it.
Never seen it.
Oh, okay.
That's not because I don't want to. I do, but it is one of the casualties in the never ending. There's so much stuff to watch.
Okay. I would say you're missing out as a fan of the superhero genre and
yes. Oh, I know I am.
Hilarious graphic content.
Because I've read reviews, I've heard other people talking about it. I've watched trailers and stuff. I know I'm missing out.
Okay.
But
all I'll say then, I'll keep this bit light.
Watch it, but go on.
So series 3 so far, again, it's on Amazon Prime Video, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And we are, time of recording, 3 episodes in. They released 3 in the first day.
Mm-hmm.
The opening 10 minutes of the first series sets it up. What you're going to get, it's horrific, it's graphic, it's cringy, it's funny. And I mean, if you've not seen it, you've really cut the segment short. But it's very good. It's delivering at the moment.
Yeah, it is. It's one that's kind of. I think the stuff I've not heard anything particularly spoilery, but the fact that the new season is out has kind of reminded me that it's there, and it's kind of worked its way up my list of things I need to catch up on. So I'm hoping I'm going to start watching that imminently.
Because it's originally it's from a comic, right? And I've been tempted to read the comics, and I've sort of gone, I don't want to get ahead of myself with the series, but apparently it has deviated slightly, this one.
Okay.
A bit like the Umbrella Academy has done of recent as well.
Right.
Which is back this month, I think. So it's well worth a watch. It's funny. It's fun. It's got a good cast. I mean, I love Carl Urban, and his accent is hilarious, but you get past it. And yeah, it's just developing on what we've learned over the last 2 seasons. But you've not seen it, so boring.
No, but I will watch it, and I will report back on my thoughts. Forthwith, even
Talking
fifth with.
Fourth, that was a fantastic segue. We did not plan that.
Pretty smooth.
Have you seen Jackass Forever yet?
No.
Good. Let's talk about Jackass 4.5 on Netflix then.
I haven't seen that either yet.
Oh, yeah. But as a big fan of that franchise, I was quite excited when 4.5 dropped on Netflix. And for those who don't know, when they film a Jackass movie, they always film way too much content. So what they do is they release the main theatrical version, which in this case is Jackass Forever.
Yes.
And then in this instance, the streaming platform Netflix picks up 4.5, which is all the stuff they didn't show you in the main release.
Okay.
Intersected with interviews and behind the scenesy bits. Now, in the past, they did Jackass 3D, and then Jackass 3.5 got released. I preferred 3.5.
Okay.
And I have to say, I think in this case, I preferred 4.5.
Okay, right.
It's very... I think there's some better stunts in it. There's some more painful-looking stunts.
Yeah.
I laughed a lot at it. But also, I could watch it in the comfort of my own home and didn't really feel as awkward laughing out loud at things that other people in the cinema didn't find funny.
Sure.
You know, humour... A bit like horror sometimes. If you're jumping at a horror film because it's subjective...
Yeah.
And you find that scary, but nobody else does. You sort of feel a bit outed that you're a massive scaredy cat.
Whereas hey, you don't have to be worried about being judged.
Yeah, like, you know, in the cinema, I was laughing at some particular scenes that my mate wasn't even laughing at, and I'm like, is it just my sense of humour is either too warped or I'm just childish and, you know, like, you know, being slapped at the back of the head with a fish is funny or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But there's one particular... Again, we talked about Jackass Forever, but in Jackass Forever, there's one particular scene. It's so simple. They just... They set up a particular thing that might happen to them, and then what they do is they turn the lights off, they switch what the thing might be, and they just torture these poor buggers in night. But they think the thing that they've put in there is going to get them. And it's so simple... but so effective.
Yes.
You need to see it. It's so fucking good.
I will. It's on the list. I mean, what can I tell you? What can I tell you?
I still get that. Well, when I went to see when I went to see Forever in the cinema, I just had this big grin when you heard, "Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville," and you know, and watching 4.5 at home, I just had that feeling of, I'm sad this is it for them as the main group. But
yes,
it was nice to have, again, turn it on for an hour and a half, 2 hours, you can just giggle to yourself, and it's nice, easy watching. You're not the one getting hurt, and you know.
Most importantly.
Yeah. But there's some really good skits in 4.5.
Okay. I will give it a watch.
Do you know, I'm so tempted to even watch it after recording this now. We've been talking about it. Watch it again.
Okay.
Anything else that we've seen in the last 2 weeks that's worth talking about?
I think we're kind of up to date on that.
I've seen the sun quite a lot. Not a sun, as in I don't have a child, but the sun that goes in the sky occasionally in the UK.
But no, I think we kind of brought ourselves up to date. Coming out tomorrow, as we are recording this, is episode 4 of Obi Wan, as well as the first episode of Ms. Marvel.
Oh, I've forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I look forward to doing another episode on Toxic Fandom.
So we'll have something to discuss about those next week.
Is it bad that I'm not that bothered about Ms. Marvel?
I
felt the trailer that we've had just made it look a bit too kiddie.
There is that. It's obviously got an audience, hasn't it? But I'm going to watch it because she's in the Marvels, in the Captain Marvel sequel.
Of course it's going to tie. Oh, I tell you something that finished whilst we were on our break. Moon Knight.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah. So by next week, we'll have Ms. Marvel to talk about, latest Obi Wan, and I will watch some of The Boys, and I will get back to you with my thoughts.
Interesting. I look forward to that, and hopefully we'll have. Well, I say hopefully we will have a topic next time that we'll go into. We have a few choices. We won't give that away, but we have some plans for this season series. Hopefully, it's we're going to keep building viewers, and that'd be great. So if you are listening and you want to get in touch, literally. When we asked people what are your thoughts about Multiverse of Madness, people got in touch. That was awesome. So if there's any comments that you want to make after things we've talked, do get in touch via Twitter, YouTube comments, anything, or podcast@culturetrumpet.com. We will talk to you because we don't get that many, but if we do, we are making the effort. And also, if you want to come on for a chat, we have the technology to do that at some point.
Actually, I know we've got some listeners out there who are huge fans of films and certain genres and certain franchises, and we've got listeners out there, and followers who are big into collecting stuff, and so on. So anyone out there with opinions that must be heard.
Well, some
that's
opinions.
for us to decide. Anyone with opinions that we think might be worth hearing,
we will censor you.
By all means, come along and join us. That'll be fun. Get some more people involved. A bit of a three-way.
Oh, not again.
Cheeky.
Like, subscribe, all that shit. You know it.
And until next time.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, but also goodbye.
Bye.
For now.
Bye. 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 I'm gonna get away from the mic. Bye.
You hang up first.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.